caucus quest for the speaker position of the legislature and have endorsed the candidacy of Councillor General Fonadi Kofa as well-balanced, calling on all independent and like-minded members of our party to support that call. I will say that again. In this light, the party intends to support its caucus quest for the speaker position and have endorsed the candidacy of Councillor J. Fonadi Kofa, a well-balanced political and regional partisan, as its sole candidate for speaker. Therefore, we are calling on all independents and like-minded members of the incoming legislature to support Councillor Kofa as the CDC's consensus candidate in the ensuing election for the legislature.
Maba Modu, the national chairman of the outgoing ruling coalition for democratic change, they're speaking. From that story, residents and commuters of Bankstown community in Lower Margibi County have accused Fenjude International for the deteriorating condition of the Bankstown Road in Marshall. Fenjude International is a rock quarry belonging to East International, a Chinese firm contracted to pave the road leading to the Rebels International Airport in Margibi County. Providing reasons for the deplorable condition of the road, the residents said the presence of the company's heavy-duty vehicles on the road has caused serious damages to the road, thus resulting to increment of transportation in the area. Our reporter Christofina Nyene has been following the story from where she found in this report.
Bankstown, a community in the township of Marshall in Lower Margibi County, is one of the villages suffering from the echoes and sound pollution caused by Fenjude International, a rock quarry belonging to East International. Living condition in this town is appalling. There is no leisure time for the nearly 1,000 residents due to the heavy sounds from the blasting of rocks, and the natural environment here is being destroyed by the company. Road condition in this place is terrible, preventing smaller vehicles from plying, thus making life difficult for pregnant women to seek medical attention.
Sometimes it be really too much no way to go to school, and the road they do is sometimes to walk on the road before you leave and you walk on the road. No road before you leave and you're on the road. They already mess up.
Accidents here are common on the road, especially with bag riders. Pregnant women and sick people are at greater risk. Bag riders in this place are restricted to take passengers to Bankstown. Daniel Gawe is the spokesperson of the Motorcyclist Union.
Motorcyclists, some of them don't know the road. Actually, it bring up problem. That is to say, when they go in, falling in hole, and sometimes the passenger may drop, motorbike fall on them, brain them, and sometimes it bring up problem. The government need to stretch on them concerning the road.
Meanwhile, the town chief of Bankstown, Ezekiel Bank, acknowledged the allegation by the town residents and disclosed that he has been working with the township commissioner in consultation with the company to rehabilitate the road, but to no avail. Mr. Ben said the company has been hesitant to recondition the road.
They're asking the commissioner to come in for this road, and we all will be important to go to the commissioner office. So in working on it, government got to help to inform them to come fix our road, because government bring the company didn't just come by the set. So you have the government force and to come help the poor people on the side.
Responding to these allegations, Fenjude International's land manager James Zaude asserted that the company has begun patching the potholes on the road.
When they are saying we're not doing anything about it, it's false and misleading. Just 2 days ago, our team was on the road. Yeah, I think you can see our breaking quota over there. These are the material we're using for the affected area. So intervention was not going on, but for now we are started.
In January this year, the Environmental Protection Agency, or EPA, temporarily shut down the operation of Feng Shui International for its persistent non-compliance and deviance posture to adhere to EPA's recommendation. This is Christofina Yani reporting for Prime FM News.
Many thanks to Chris for that splendid report from Benstown, Marshall, Lower Margibi County. Liberian President George Weah has reiterated calls to the international community, particularly Western powers, to undertake inclusive and practical approaches in tackling the growing threats of global warming and climate change. Addressing the ongoing Conference of Parties COP28 Saturday in Dubai, the UAE, President George Weah underscored the devastating impact that global warming is having on the world and mankind.
As we convene here at COP28, I stand before you in recognition of the unprecedented challenges our world faces today due to climate change. In the wake of COP26 and COP27, the year 2023 has been characterized by record-breaking heat, droughts, flooding, and other disasters caused by climate change, which have occurred with increasing frequency throughout the year. Our shared commitment to the 2015 Paris Agreement demands a candid assessment of our progress. The extraordinary climate shock experience this year are not only a wake-up call, but a call to actions, urging us to re-evaluate the progress we have made so far toward achieving our aspirational goal of limiting global temperature rise to 1.5 degrees centigrade by 2030.
The President of the Republic of Liberia, George Manuel Weah, addressing the Conference of Parties COP28 in Dubai, the United Arab Emirates at the weekend. Nimba County Senator Prince Johnson says the change of power through democratic means is an indication that Liberians are now opening their eyes on how the natural resources and economic dividends affect their lives. Senator Prince Johnson made a statement when he delivered a sermon at the appreciation services organized by the Christ Chapel of Faith for the successful hosting of the peaceful election here in Liberia.
So what is going on according to God's plan for Liberia? Let the past rest. The war is over. What contribution can we make in building a new Liberia? Some are lazy, they are on the wayside. They drink Taif, they drink Kush, and they just talk. Liberians, if you are blind Bartimaeus, receive a sign. There are many of us today in our country called Liberia or in the world today who got sight, who see physically blind, but spiritually they are blind. We preach the gospel of Christ to affect lives, for the evil towards the change. We preach to affect the thieves, corrupt officials, gays and lesbians, transgenders, drug addicts. The gospel is to be preached and is preached by people to change nation, to change the world, to change individuals. That's the greatest miracle. But when you allow money, the resources of a country to blind you.
Nimba County Senator Evangelist Prince Johnson delivering a sermon at his Christ Chapel of Faith Ministry in Painesville City in appreciation of the world successful hosting of the elections in the country. The chairperson of the National AIDS Commission has revealed that HIV/AIDS remains prevalent amongst key and vulnerable population of the country, while calling for concerted efforts to end HIV by the year 2030. Theodosia Kuri has been speaking during the celebration of this year's World AIDS Day in Painesville.
Liberia has a generalized HIV epidemic with reproductive age population showing HIV prevalence of 2.1%. The UNAIDS 2022 spectrum estimates put the number of persons living with HIV over 34,000. Amidst these, the response to HIV is further faced with a daunting challenge posed by the outcome of the 2018 Integrated Biobehavioral Surveillance Survey, the IPBSS, which shows high HIV prevalence among key and vulnerable population in our country. The report indicates that men who have sex with men account for 37.9%, transgender at 27.6%, uniform service personnel at 17.6%, female sex workers at 16.7%, others are transport workers 9.6%, people who inject drug 14.4%, inmates 5.5%, and for mobile traders 3%. This tells us that if we as a country want to join achieving countries in achieving the 2030 targets, we must develop a positive mindset by discouraging stigma and discrimination against these groups of people. Our internet.
Theodosia Kudi is the chairperson of the National AIDS Commission. They're speaking while serving as National Orator. Assistant AFL Chief of Staff for Health Services, Lieutenant Joseph Cole, stressed the need for the communities, which include persons affected directly or indirectly with AIDS, to lead the fight against HIV/AIDS in the country.
Today we gather here to commemorate the 2023 World AIDS Day program, a day of remembrance, reflections, and renewed commitment in the national and global fight against HIV and AIDS. It is a day that allows us to come together as a community to raise awareness, to honor the lives affected by the devastating disease. The global theme for this year's commemoration is Let the Community Lead. And our national theme is The Community Lead with Equality and Diversity to End AIDS. Permit me to take this time to congratulate the National AIDS Commission.
He is the National Orator of this year's World AIDS Day program. His name is Lieutenant Joseph Cole. He is the Assistant Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces of Liberia for Health Services. The new management at the Liberian Bank for Development and Investment, LBDR, is encouraging the workforce of the bank to remain focused and dedicated in ensuring that the bank remains second to none in the country. According to the new president and CEO of the bank, Christian Addison, the institution can only move forward among the many commercial banking institutions if the employees do not put the collective agenda of the bank above personal interests.
And one of the reasons it's important to have a program such as this one, honoring people like yourselves who devoted their entire lives to this institution. 25 years is a lifetime. 15 years, 2 years, 10 years. Working out every day, coming to the same building, meeting the same people, someone who you don't want to talk to, but you still have to come to anyway. It's an entire lifetime. For that, you deserve our eternal gratitude. So one of the reasons why we're hosting the program, we host every year prior to this point, and we hope to host every year going forward, is LBDR by itself means nothing. No institution is the building or anything, or the equipment or the money that's in the institution. Every institution is the people that work in the institution. And one of the things I've always stressed when I work, people that work along with me, is that we are all in the same boat together. We should have one agenda, and that agenda should be the institution's agenda.
He is the president of the Liberian Bank for Development and Investment, Mr. Christian Addison, speaking at the weekend when the bank honored and certificated several dedicated employees who have served the bank for 10, 15, and 25 years during the bank's 58th anniversary celebration in Singapore. Well, David Vitton served as the keynote speaker during the program. He's been speaking at the ceremony.
It is a cherished tradition that we commemorate the
anniversary of the Liberian Bank for Development and Investment, the LBDI. The company's anniversary is essential as it celebrates its growth and marks the number of years it has completed. I must state here that the bank has performed excellently. As the years have passed, the LBDI has strengthened its endeavor to deliver inspiring, high-valued, and exceptional services to our customers in an environment which is inherent in timeless hospitality. We look forward to another wonderful year, a time to build and strengthen forged relationship even further.
Former Central Bank of Liberia Governor David Vitton, and he's the Director of Directors, the Board of Directors of the Liberia Bank for Development and Investment. Finally, from the news stem, the Liberia National Police has launched an investigation into circumstances surrounding the death of a 34-year-old man identified as Joshua Solomon in the 72nd community in Painesville City, and the spokesperson of the Liberia National Police is Moses Carter. He's been speaking at a news conference in Monrovia.
We have invited you to brief you on an ongoing investigation which we've launched into the death of one of our citizens who met his untimely death yesterday in the 72nd community. He's Joshua Solomon. Joshua is 34 years old, and prior to his death, he served as a national pageant trainer at the Ministry of Information. Peace be to his ashes. May his soul and the souls of all faithful departed rest in perfect peace. We'd like to say to Liberians that we are not going to sweep under the carpet anything as it relates to the unscrupulous act that led to Joshua's death. Joshua's death will be duly investigated with time, and I can assure you with time, and justice will be served. Reports available to us has it that Joshua met his untimely death as a result of internal bleeding, and it is reported that he was one of those victims of aggravated assault in Sinko on the 11th of August in Sinko, when rabble supporters of the Unity Party and that of the Coalition for Democratic Change.
Moses Carter, the spokesperson of the Liberia National Police, taking us home on this early presentation of News Run. That's how we close the curtains on this edition of the program, Prime News Run, a production of the news department here at Prime Communications Network Incorporated. Before we take leave of you, the major stories in our headlines. Disenchanted citizens of Plebo, Maryland County, blast Speaker Buffer Chambers for resisting their chores at the National Elections Commission, brand the Speaker's action as evil and ungrateful. Defeated Coalition for Democratic Change braces itself for opposition life, vows to resist the Bwaka-Kun government against misruled, witch hunt, and bad governance as the party endorses Liberia's Deputy Speaker Fonati Kofa for Speaker position. And also they heard in the news, residents and commuters of Bankstown, Lower Margibi County declared the deplorable road condition in the area. Blame the Chinese construction company Fenjude International of damaging the road without rehabilitation. You heard that full report from Christopher Nanyani. Of the home front, Guinea-Bissau's president says heavy gunfire that broke out in the capital last Friday was an attempted coup. Burkina Faso and Niger have followed Mali in announcing they are to withdraw from an international force known as the G5 that was set up to fight Islamists in the Sahel region. Again, thanks for listening and watching. Thanks to our reporters, our editors, correspondents, interns, and those who helped in making this edition a success. And Mr. Many thanks to Barclay County. He was here with our news bulletin and the international developments. Thanks to editor Arthur B.A. for ensuring the success of this edition of the program. Samson Wise, Sada Control, he handled the technical aspect, and Rufus Divine Brooks Jr. was behind our Facebook camera. He coordinated all of this on this edition. Let me say thanks to you for listening and watching. My name is Juto Nikoti. Good morning.